Hey there guys! So it's come to the end of the week and we're going to do a roundup of kind of the latest Marvel rumours regarding the MCU. So let's jump straight into this article and let's have a read of what the latest speculation and rumours are. So this comes to us from comicflicknews.com. So, Secret Wars, the Fantastic Four news, surprising plans for Maguire and Garfield and more, MCU rumour roundup. So, we've come to the end of another week here on Comic Flick News. And while major news has been sparse, the rumour mill is buzzing with exciting possibilities. So, Shang-Chi 2, The Wreckage of Time. So, official updates on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings sequel have been limited, but filming is reportedly set to begin next year. Simu Liu and director Destin Daniel Cretton are expected to return with The Wreckage of Time still believed to be the working title. The sequel might feature a Kang variant as the primary antagonist, adding an exciting twist to the storyline. So, The Wreckage of Time, that's quite an interesting title there. That gives us a bit to chew on. Is there going to be some sort of time travel or some sort of time variance going on within the movie? Is it going to take place in the past? Or, you know, like I say, it's some sort of meddling of time. It definitely has that multiverse kind of vibes going on with it. So there could be some sort of time discrepancy within the movie. We'll have to wait and see. But I know there's so many of you guys out there who have been waiting for a Shang-Chi 2. Shang-Chi is one of the best Marvel films they put out in recent years, amongst the kind of other trash that they've been giving us. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Shang-Chi, because the first movie was so great and so fun, and The Wreckage of Time definitely sounds like some sort of time travel or something to do with that. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think about that. So, moving on. Avengers 5 and Secret Wars. So, insider Daniel Rickman. Guys, for those of you who may not know, he's sort of an industry insider, apparently. He's on Twitter, he's on social media, he gives inside scoops to do with Marvel, DC, Star Wars. Doesn't always get everything right, but more often than not, does get a lot of stuff right. So, take this information with a pinch of salt. So, reports that Avengers 5, previously known as Avengers the Kang Dynasty, might undergo changes to become more standalone. So, while Secret Wars could split into two separate films, this potential shift aims to give each storyline more room to develop and deliver a more comprehensive narrative. So let's just go into that again quickly. So Avengers 5 might undergo changes to become more standalone. So it sounds like that movie by itself is going to be a bit removed from the main narrative of the MCU timeline. It's still going to be connected, but maybe it has sort of smaller connections than what previously thought. It's more standalone. The story is more inclusive of itself rather than what's come before it in the MCU overall narrative or timeline. So, and it sounds like here, Secret Wars could be split into two separate films. Hollywood does this a lot now. You know, they did it with the end of the Harry Potter series. They split Deathly Hallows into two parts. Obviously, it makes more sense. You get more screen time. You make more money. You get more time to flesh out these characters. Everybody kind of wins. The fans get more movies. The studio gets more money. Everybody's happy. And that's a great kind of, if true, that's a great kind of rumor to hear. We're going to get two potential movies instead of one. And as an MCU fan, I'm definitely happy with that. So, moving on. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So, according to Rickman, Sony Pictures aims to bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Following the success of No Way Home, Sony envisions these characters as key players in their own multiverse storyline. So that's very interesting there. It sounds like they could be a separate kind of Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their own separate kind of multiverse story. So it's going to have small attachments to the MCU timeline, but it's going to be kind of in its own multiverse kind of story there, separate kind of off to the side of the main narrative, which kind of makes sense. And it would make sense to bring those guys back. They would generate all the money in the universe. As long as they do it justice and it doesn't feel gimmicky and it has narrative purpose for being there, having these two Spider-Men to come back. I don't want it to feel gimmicky and I don't want it to kind of tarnish that movie of No Way Home and make it feel gimmicky. So I'm hoping that if they do a good plot, a good narrative, have a good script and meaningful purpose for these guys to come back, then I'm all the more for it. It's speculated that Sony's Tom Rothman and Marvel's Kevin Feige disagreed about reuniting these characters with Tom Holland in Spider-Man 4, possibly leading to this compromise. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If you want to bring them back, but you're not sure what to do, have them in their own separate kind of timeline narrative movie, spin off to the side of the MCU, in their own little bubbles. Maybe all the events that take place within their own movie doesn't kind of affect what's going on in the MCU. So that way you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. So everybody wins. So, the Fantastic Four, Franklin, Richards, and more. So, insider Daniel Rickman, again, this guy seems to get a lot of scoops. I have no idea where he gets these from. Is he like an executive at Marvel who kind of just listens into these kind of board meetings and gets all this news? No idea where he gets his information from, but he seems to get a lot of it. So, claims that Franklin Richards will be part of the main team of the Fantastic Four reboot, sporting a costume with the number 5. So, known for his powerful reality warping abilities in the comics, there's speculation that Franklin, the son of Reed and Sue Richards, will be responsible for transporting the heroes to the main MCU timeline. So that would be very, very interesting. It's called the Fantastic Four, but it appears that he's going to be the 5th member of the Fantastic Four, and he ultimately transports them into the MCU timeline. Well, we know that part of the Fantastic Four is going to take place in the 60s, so potentially he shows up towards the end of the film, and then something goes wrong, and one of his powers kind of takes them into the MCU. That would be very interesting if that happened towards the end of the movie. I mean, there's countless ways in which some of his abilities could end up with the Fantastic Four transitioning to the MCU, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But if this is true, having Franklin Richards as a 5th member of the team, I mean, that's kind of interesting, and I'd be interested to see where that goes. So, an intriguing but dubious rumour, Natasha Lyonne, who joined the cast earlier this month, is speculated to be playing a female version of Doctor Doom. While this seems unlikely, an ex-post from IGN's Joshua Yehel hints that she will indeed portray a surprising character. So here, Joshua Yehel, if I told you who she's playing, you wouldn't believe me. Deadline Hollywood, Marvel Studios had no comment about Lyonne's Fantastic Four role, as plot details are being kept under wraps. So, Natasha Lyonne, latest to join ensemble of Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. So, he's saying here, if I told you who she's playing, you wouldn't believe me. But a lot of people are saying that she's speculated to be a female Doctor Doom. I mean, I can understand a lot of people are going to take issue with this, having a female Doctor Doom, calling it woke, gender swapping it and all this kind of stuff. I get where people are coming from. I mean, what is the point of gender swapping it? There's no need to do that. Does it feel shoehorned? Does it feel forced? Does it feel like more Marvel woke agenda? I guess it does on the surface. But I always say, if there's a good plot, if there's a good script, if she's written well, and it's a compelling female Doctor Doom, then I don't really take much issue with it. As long as the story is good, that's what I'm looking for as a movie fan, a good story and a good character. But I understand why a lot of people are going to jump on the kind of bandwagon of wokeness and kind of hate that decision. If it's true, we don't know if this is true, so bear that in mind. But if it is true, then I think a lot of backlash is going to ensue because of this casting choice. But we'll have to see how that works out. So let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinions and theories. Stay tuned to Comic Flick News for more updates and rumours as they unfold. Yeah, so we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, guys. Every time we get to kind of Friday or Saturday, I'll compile a list of what the latest MCU rumours are. So make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to the channel, so I'll give you all the latest updates when it comes to the MCU and Marvel news that I possibly can find. And yeah, so that's kind of where we are. So Franklin Richards is going to be number 5 on the team of Fantastic Four. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire potentially having their own kind of multiverse movie with those two Spider-Men. That would be very interesting. Avengers 5 potentially being a standalone story, so still connected to the MCU, but kind of the narrative being a standalone thing. And then Avengers Secret Wars being a 2-part movie, so that's potentially happening. And then Shang-Chi 2, called The Wreckage of Time, potentially alluding to time travel or some sort of time alteration or complication within the movie. That would be an interesting avenue to explore for sure. So yeah, guys, that's the latest roundup of the MCU or Marvel rumor speculation mill, if you like. Let me know what stood out to you as, what stood out to you when it came to these news stories here. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say about these kind of Marvel rumors. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe for more of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.